Go to intro.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Cast the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we've never missed a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I am your host with the most, the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George, the Dreamer, Medina. I'm ready for you to freestyle over that beat, Sam. that beat is hard.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I was thinking of a jam, but I didn't. I can think of that fast. I think what happens is, as you get older, your brain doesn't move as fast. I was like,
all right. So for, I'm sure people know already because they've been watching this show. But for the newbies, right? Somebody just tuned in. You used to rap, right? Now, what was your freestyle game like? Like, how good were you freestyle?
I was okay.
Yeah.
I was very insecure because
you were B Rabbit in
I was very insecure. Yeah, I was very insecure. I remember when I got into the rap game, my producer, we went to Brooklyn. And we went to Brooklyn when they were going to have, it was like this rap party, but there was a lot of MCs there. And, so it was like, you had to make your bones in the streets. And it's like, if the hood accepts you, then you're on your way.
Yeah.
And so I remember we got there, and I mean, the streets are mobbed. There's like hundreds and hundreds of cats outside and whatever. It's like this club is so packed. There's a circle, and he's like, yo, you need to get in that circle. And it's a freestyle circle. And it's one of those things where someone throws out a topic, and you gotta, wherever this guy ends, you gotta take over.
Oh.
Man, if I had diapers, I'd be peeing on myself. Because I remember I was like, yo, I'm going to embarrass myself here. And, you're sitting there, you're listening. And, I'm like number 8. There's like 15 guys in the circle.
It was a cipher?
Yeah. And I'm like number 8. And I'm like, you're paying close attention. So you're pretending you're bopping with everybody. But I'm paying close attention. Like, oh, wherever he lands, you got to make sure your stuff rhymes and is in sync with the topic.
Damn.
Right?
There's a lot of pressure.
So if he ended off with like Gatling gun, you got to have some sort of rhyme to Gatling gun that goes with the topic. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh. And then when, I remember when the guys going, and all these guys were really good. And I was like, oh, don't blow it. I was like, you just have to do 8 bars. That's it, Sam. And I made it through. I was like, cool. And so then it keeps going until when you screw up, you get moved until it gets like the last 2. So I made it to like the last 6, and then I screwed up, and then I was out, and then whatever. But it started 15, and I was number 6.
That's good.
So I made it through. But I swear, perspiration. I was like, yo, I need a 40. I said, yo, give me a 40. I was like, go.
Give me an OE.
If you gave me something, if I was good, if like you gave me something to drink, then my nerves went away.
But if I was sober,
Liquid.
Yeah, I was like, if I was sober, I didn't want to do it. I was like, oh hell no, these guys are gonna eat me up because because I didn't grow up as that my what I wanted to do. What I started out doing was pop music. I was doing club music, like TKA. That's what I was doing. I remember in the studio when I used to test the mic, I would freestyle. And the producer's like, yo, and they were there. He was there with some other guys. Like, yo, why are you wasting your time with that stuff? That's a fad. It's gonna go out of business. Rap is where you need to be. And that's how that started.
He wasn't wrong. I mean, rap's still around today.
Yeah,
and
and club music disappeared.
Yeah, it died. Yeah,
you know, that's how that started. So that wasn't my. So then I was a novice getting into the game. I only did it for fun because I loved rap. I loved hip hop. I loved rap, and so anytime I used to just write my own things, whatever. And then all of a sudden, then we go to the Bronx, and they want, and he would just like put me out there, and it's like, yo, go ahead. I'm like, oh.
You got to get that street cred.
It's like, it's like, you know, it's like when your dad tells you to fight the big kid, and you're like, no, you know, that's how it felt. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna get murdered. Yeah, that's how it was.
Nice. Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Catch the Craze. We kind of went off the rails, but I just found it interesting, like the whole freestyling thing, bro. Because I know you like to start going off, but I didn't know what you used to do back in the day.
Yes, I was a hobbyist. A lot of these guys, that was their profession.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying. So I was like, I was a tourist passing through, and I had a little bit of skills, but I didn't have that kind of skill. You know.
There you go.
I'm a good writer. I can write a great rap song, but I gotta write it down. I gotta memorize it. You know. Off the top, you know, I can't carry more than 8 bars, because then I'm thinking. You know, it's like where I watch these ciphers, and these guys are just like naturals.
You know what's crazy about hip hop too, or rapping, is that how much it's changed. You know, it used to be simple rap. You know, like bam 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 bam, and you would just keep rapping and rhyming like that. Then now they're flipping it around, where it's like it's not just like 2 or 3 words will rhyme now, and like it's like a whole different, almost like a whole different way of rhyming, and so it sounds different. I mean, now you got mumble rappers who don't even say anything.
Yes. But what's fascinating is that even through all this time, you got someone like Eminem who's been in there forever. He's still relevant, and he's still outselling 90% of them. It's crazy.
You're a big fan of Eminem.
It's just a fact. It's just facts. I'm just talking facts. If you look at the data, his stuff is off the charts. Numbers don't lie. I don't care about anybody's opinion about him personally, because they use color as a gauge, which is crazy.
Yeah, nah.
For me, I just look at the data.
He's one of the best lyricists, dude.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that he says is just the way his wordplay, like the way he combines words, is insane. I like him. I think he's top 5. But you know, some of it I'm just like, all right, and switch it up. He's, you know, but obviously
because people want the club joints. They want the ones that you can bop to.
One of my favorite songs of Eminem, dude, is like one of his first albums. It's called Rock Bottom. Mm-hmm. That song, Rock Bottom, is one of my favorite, and it's not a club. Like most people probably never heard it unless you're an Eminem fan. It's in one of his albums. It's one of my favorite songs. I'm not really about the club. I mean, the club thing sells the records, but I like his more grimy, like his more like, you know, serious stuff. I guess that's what I meant. I'm like, all right, I don't want the radio hits. You know what I mean? Like I prefer his like dark stuff.
You gotta listen to the stuff that he's released recently. It's crazy.
Yeah. The Kamikaze album or whatever. That was good. I like that.
The one he just released.
Oh no, I haven't heard the one. Which one's that?
Look it up.
What's the name of that shit? Oh, okay.
Look it up, homie.
I'm on Google. I'm on Google right now. Today on the show, we have an actor, producer, director, Kyle Hester on the show. That's going to be a really good show, and he has some really good independent films out there, like Zombie with a Gun and Preacher 6, and so there's some cool stuff that he's done. We're excited about that. The Chair. This is in time for our Halloween special. You know what? It's funny. The Chair is have you ever read that graphic novel? It's a graphic novel. It's a graphic novel. It's an independent graphic novel by Alterna Comics, I think, put it out.
Oh, really?
Great book, bro. Really good book. I didn't even know he did that. That's amazing. All right, good stuff. Yeah, happy Halloween, dude.
Happy Halloween.
This is our Halloween show.
Yes, I should have had some witches flying around. I didn't have this set up.
Anything. I'm moving. I'm used to this white space, but I'm also in the process of moving out of here, so I have nothing in my apartment right now. I'm sitting on a couch with my laptop and my phone, and that's it, and a bottle of water. But Halloween is here. What do you anything special for Halloween? I know in your neighborhood the guy across the street has some crazy party, so I'm wondering what he's doing.
Who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? Yeah. Who are the people in your neighborhood? The people that you meet when you're walking down the street. We're the people that you meet
Oh, we're going all the way.
each day.
We're finishing the whole song. We're doing the whole
George's
we're doing
like,
the whole thing.
that George's like,
We're
yo.
like, cut it. So yeah, no. What do you guys? I mean, obviously, they're probably gonna have a party or something.
We're gonna, the guy across the street in the mansion. I mean, the guy spent so much money building this cabana and 20-foot pool, and when he throws parties, I mean, they take up the whole block. But this neighborhood just gets shut down anyway. A couple weeks before, I don't know now because of the pandemic and social distancing. But
true.
normally in my area, the police start shutting down, start directing traffic
2-3 weeks leading up to Halloween
because the homes on my block, they go out. I can't compete with them. They're extra. They look like museums. They look, you definitely want to take pictures. They look like movie sets. So I don't decorate because of that. I just can't compete with them. I only decorate for Christmas.
Okay.
Every year I add a little something more. And but yeah, it's so we're gonna order in and we're gonna do movies.
Movies.
Yeah.
What are you gonna watch? What movies do you guys watch?
She picks them.
Okay.
I don't
Scary movies?
Yeah,
or,
scary.
or,
Yeah, thrillers. We're gonna watch some thrillers.
But you don't like scary movies.
I don't like. No, I'm not a big fan. I'd rather watch. I watch Goosebumps. Like you get me watching.
He said I watch Goosebumps.
I watch Bugs Bunny Halloween special. That's me. I love that stuff. Like Charlie Brown Halloween special,
Brown's
Bugs Bunny
Halloween,
Halloween special. I'll watch all that stuff. But she's gonna want to watch some crazy thriller stuff. And
what did you guys watch last year? Like, do you remember what you watched last year?
no.
No, you were closing your eyes and
because I stopped falling asleep. That's me. I'm like,
Yes,
I can't watch like Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it's too real for me. Like,
how about the Halloweens?
Here's my problem.
Okay.
So the problem is when I watch a film, I become the film, like I'm in it. So I feel what they're feeling, and so when that shit happens, it's like, oh, I'm yelling. I'm like, run! I was like, no!
Really?
I'm that guy because I'm in it.
You're that guy.
I was like, what are you doing? You're just like, no, don't open that door.
This is even after you've seen the movie a few times.
Even
you still have the same reaction.
even now, I'm like, it's crazy. I still laugh at the same things in Home Alone.
Oh, Home Alone.
I can see the same scene for an hour straight, repeat, and I'll laugh at the same thing.
Joe Pesci in that movie,
crazy,
just hysterical.
Yes,
he's the man in that movie. Him and I forget the actor who plays. I forgot the actor's name, but hysterical.
Yes,
hysterical. The Wet Bandits are freaking. Yes. I love that movie. That movie is one of my favorite holiday movies.
Yes,
definitely is Home Alone. But as far as like Halloween, I mean, I love scary movies. They don't scare me. Like the movies don't really scare me. So, but I do like a good scary movie. Like I like a good scary movie.
No bueno.
But yeah, that's funny, man. Yeah, no bueno. Huh?
I love comedy. Yeah. I love good comedy. I was like, I grew up in Hollis, Queens. I don't need any more scary shit. It's like,
scared enough.
I don't know. I got scared enough in my neighborhood. It's like, nah, it's all right. You know what? I'd rather laugh. I love dramatic movies. I love suspenseful movies.
I feel like you like a good romantic comedy.
I cried at the Bridges of Madison County.
I knew that too. Wow.
You seen Bridges of Madison County?
No.
You didn't see it? You gotta see it. There's a scene where Clint Eastwood is standing in the rain and she's in the car with her husband and they're staring at each other in the rain and I bawled.
Yeah, hope is romantic.
I cried at Braveheart.
But Braveheart was great.
When she was telling him to drink the poison, she's pleased because she didn't want to get tortured. And he's like, every man dies, but not every man really lives. I was like, oh!
Wow.
But then I was pissed because he got betrayed. But I was like, he fought for you. You let him. I was mad.
Braveheart or Gladiator? Which one? You had to pick one. One goes, one stays.
Braveheart
or Gladiator?
Braveheart.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Braveheart all day.
Braveheart because of the emotional roller coaster.
All day.
Gladiator, I was angry a lot.
Yeah.
Braveheart, I was happy, I was sad, I was pissed. You know, it took you on a ride.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
Braveheart is a great movie.
Yeah.
Braveheart. You know, I guess maybe because Gladiator came out after, so I always say, you know, Gladiator almost took a lot of it from Braveheart. You know, like I feel like there were a lot of similarities in the movie.
Yeah.
But Braveheart is my joint, man.
Yeah.
I love Braveheart.
All right,
man.
so
when he comes in, it's amazing.
Gladiator or Troy?
Ooh. Hector! He's outside. Yo, when you call a dude out like that,
my heart. When he's in there, I was like, I turned yellow. I was like, oh, don't go. Don't go.
Like, yo, don't do it, dog.
You know, you ever know that one, you're like a tough dude and you know, and everyone's afraid of you until you meet that one guy that you're afraid of. You're like, oh.
That was it.
Yes.
That was it.
I was like, don't
that
do it.
was it.
I said, Hector, stay behind the walls.
Hector, you got nothing to prove, bro. Just stay back there.
Oh, because his brother couldn't keep Peter down.
I was just going to say that. And it's all because of his brother. He's got to go out now. I got to go fight for you, you little
son of a biscuit.
So, Gladiator and Troy. I'll probably give the edge to Gladiator, but Troy was a really good movie, bro.
Yeah.
Troy was what it was back in Greek myth, back in that time. I mean, you had a lot of, that scene with Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
And he had partners that were at the same sex. Like
yes,
that's how it was back then. So very good movie.
What about what's his name? What's the actor's name? He's in
Joaquin Phoenix?
No, not Joaquin Phoenix. He played Alexander. So Troy or Alexander?
Oh, Troy or Alexander. Oof.
That's some stuff.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a good one. Off the top of my head, because I haven't seen both movies in a long time, but Troy just sticks out more. There are more scenes in Troy that stick out. So I'm gonna go Troy. I'm gonna go Troy on that one.
Yeah.
You like Alexander? Oh, maybe that's what I'm. Alexander is Rosario Dawson.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That's when you saw Rosario Dawson.
Rosario.
Yes. It's like
Rosario, speaking of, she's hot, dude.
Yes, I got the picture of you and Anibal with her at the Comic-Con.
We met her.
Yes.
Oh man, she was great. She was great, dude.
I remember when at the after party at the hotel, she couldn't get a drink at the bar, and I made way so she was able to order her drink.
Oh, you had a little moment with Rosario. You didn't tell me this.
Yes, we were at that after party. Remember in the
I remember the after party.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a moment.
Yeah, she was trying to wave the bartender down because he was swamped, and she's like, I can't get a drink. I said, hold on,
I
got you, boo. I got you.
I've seen enough romantic comedies to know what happens here.
Yeah, so all I did was create the path, and she was able to get her drink.
All right.
And I was like, I'm out.
Look at you.
I said,
I'm done.
I did my good deed for the day.
Goodbye. I'm done. Holy cow. Yeah. Well, all right. So we're good. We're veering off the subject. We got our guy coming in.
So we got to get your meds.
Get your meds.
Get your meds.
For today. What are you scared of?
Yes.
It's time for your medicine.
It's time for your medicine. What are you scared of? Ooh.
It's funny. That's the one thing. Like, I don't know when that comes up, so I may talk over it. I have no idea when it comes up. We may have to come up with a system.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you scared of, Sam? What are you scared of? So in this world of independent publishing, right? And in this world of being an independent creator and things like that, what are you scared of? What am I scared of? What are we scared of? All of us. What would you say is the thing that scares you the most?
Nerds.
Nerds.
Remember the movie Nerds? Ogre?
Yeah.
Nerds.
Classic. Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
Those were classic films.
Remember when he was in the urinal and he's peeing and all these guys going in and out? They're like, and he's still there and he's still peeing and they're like...
Those were classic movies. Those movies and the Police Academy movies.
Yes, bro. Police Academy.
Classic.
The blonde cop.
Comedy.
Oh, remember when they were removing all their weapons? And they were showing their scars? Yeah, oh, man.
Oh, the dude, what was his name? The one that used to do all the special effects, all the sound effects.
I forgot his name, yeah.
Oh, man, he was great.
Yeah. So what are you afraid of in this business, George?
Afraid of, man. What am I? You know what? And I hate to sound cliche about it, but it is a fear that I have. Failure, bro. Failing and falling on my face. You know, just not being able to succeed in what I love to do. You know, that's a big fear of like, and it stops you from, the funny thing is, fear like that stops you from succeeding. Sometimes, you know, it's like that speech that Rocky gives about Frankie Fear, right? You got to use Frankie Fear to win, right? Because if you let Frankie Fear consume you, you lose. You just can't do it, and that's what it is. You have to kind of like navigate through that fear to get to where you want to get to, and fear of failure. I think it's a very real thing, but you know, we have to try to fight through it. You know,
that the fear of failing is my motivation.
You flip it.
I flip it. Just like that story we talked about earlier when I had to freestyle, right?
Yeah.
There's that fear of failing, right? I'm doing this and it's real. I'm not falling flat on my face. It's I think
you don't want to be embarrassed.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
So that makes you. Yeah. That motivates you to succeed.
I don't. You know, when I look at it, I say, what do I want anybody who met me or knows me to remember about me? So for me, it's like if I put words out there and I say this is what I'm going to do, then I need to put action to those words, because I'll be letting myself down. And I always look at it that way. And I don't want to fail, and because I don't want to fail, I will do everything in my power to put myself in a position to have an outcome that sometimes surprises me. Like I work really hard to, and sometimes like, oh snaps, I accomplished this. You know, so I think that's what it is. I get excited of the thought of potentially failing.
So so now that you pooped on my fear, okay, now that you said, hey man, your fear, what are you afraid of?
I'm afraid.
Besides nerds, because apparently those really scare the bejesus out of you.
I'm afraid of letting myself down. I'm afraid of not being at my full potential. I'm afraid of you know, we said this off the air. I've been working in the retail forever, and I've always had large teams, and I've always preached to my teams and the people who I was responsible for: go after your passion, take risks, don't stop your growth, don't let anybody tell you who you are, don't give anybody the power to determine who you are and what you're going to be. Make that decision yourself. Use your voice. Use your creativity. I'm always preaching those things. And so I was like, all right, now it's time for me to put up. You know, and it's like, if I'm going to preach it, I need to represent it. You know, because I'm a great coach. You know, and I've been in the retail business in a lot of different roles, from, you know, security, operations, sales. But what made me successful in everything I've done was I'm a good coach. And I know and I understand the magic of education and influencing. And so I believe that if you give people the knowledge to make the right decisions, they'll make the right decisions and they'll have a better outcome. I challenge myself to be a coach for me. So my fear is letting myself down and not living up to my expectations of myself.
Yeah.
And not necessarily what other people think, but what I think about me. Because I put more weight of what I think about me than anything else, because everyone has an opinion. But I have to be able to look in the mirror. And that's the way I look at it. It's like the guy I'm staring at, you know, is he proud of what he's looking at?
So you're afraid of letting yourself down.
Yeah.
Afraid of letting it. Yeah. I mean, hey, like I said, man, that fear is real, you know.
Yeah.
But it's about what you do with it, right? So my fear of failure, hey, turn that into a positive. Let it motivate you. Let it say, hey, I can't fail. There's a good story, and I don't know if I told you the story. I've heard of Damon. I think it was Keenan Ivory Wayans. I believe it was Keenan Ivory Wayans. He was going to be an engineer. He was studying to be something. I think it was an engineer, and his dad. But he wanted to write, and so his dad said. He said to his dad, "Dad, I'm dropping out of school, man. I want to be a writer." And his dad said, "Dude, yeah, why don't you finish your degree so that in case that whole writing thing doesn't pan out, at least you have something to fall back on." And he said, "No, Dad, I can't, because if I know that there's that thing that I can fall back on, if I don't have to succeed because I have something to back on. But if I don't have something to fall back on, I can't fail."
Right.
Like that was his mentality. I cannot fail because there's nothing else for me. So I think that that's part of like what sometimes we have to do is forget about that cushion job, and go after it. And it's easier said than done because I haven't done it, but yeah, it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing.
It is. And as we get closer, I'll be able to share more, but I'm about to take I'm going to jump into the deepest, darkest waters with all the sharks.
Yeah.
Right? And, can I tread water? Can I swim? Can I make it? And I think that's, I'm jumping in that ocean without a paddle or a boat. And, you know what I'm saying? So I got, my lungs better work.
With no life
yes.
or nothing.
Yes. So I think now it's time for me to see what I'm made of. And I think that's the biggest, and that's my motivation. It's like, all right, Sam, you've been talking about this for a long time. You walked away for 10 years. Your heart's always been in this. What are you willing to do to make it a reality? Because time is not your friend.
That's right.
Right? And
time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated.
Yes. And right now, everything is unpredictable. So there's no better time to act a little crazy than when things are crazy. And I'm made for this time.
Well, don't give it away. So
tune in
November 20th. Big announcement coming up. All right. You'll find out what we're talking about. Big announcement, November 20th.
Yes.
That show is right before.
Yes. You thought we had announcements with the crazies.
I know. This is big, bro. This is when you told me this. When you told me this over there, I was like, let me pull over. Let me pull over, bro. What?
I had to take a deep breath. When I started the conversation, I was like, right?
Yeah, so
and because it was settling. It settled, and I was like, "Oh, shiznits." So I think that's the. But I think the biggest, everyone's gonna have their fears, but you have to fight through your fears. And I equate it. I'm thankful that where I grew up, the neighborhoods I grew up in, because I had to face those fears. I'm thankful for my sister pushing me into a 10-foot deep pool when I was 5 years old and I didn't know how to swim.
He said 5 years old. Your family
were
killers.
Beast.
5 years old.
Beast, right? And I didn't know how to swim. And lifeguard had to get me and take me out. And I vowed that I'm going to learn how to swim, because I'm not going to let somebody do that to me.
Did you learn?
Yeah, and I shared that story on one of the shows where I was maybe 12 or 13 where I learned how to swim. It was about 12 or 13. We were at Jamaica High School. Summer, and they had a swimming, but you can't swim in the pool. You can't swim in the deep side unless you passed the swimming test. So I remember the first day, it's like, I'm watching the kids that you jump in. They say, all right, jump in, tread water. Like, bloop, 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 bloop. So they pull the stick down and they come out. I'm just sunk. So you can't go back in until the next day. You got to wait a day, 24 hours to be able to take the test again. So the next day I come back. My friends are all swimming and they're making fun of me. And I'm mad as hell. All right, jump in. All right, tread water. Okay, now swim. Bloop, 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 bloop. Shit. Next day, jump in, tread water, swim. I swim back. Bloop, 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 bloop. It took 5 tries, 5 days, and I finally did it. And from that point on, I never looked back.
There you go.
But that's my motivation. Yeah. And so we're gonna go to commercial. And we have Kyle in the waiting room, and when we come back, we will have Mr. Hester. So which let's see, what is this? I don't know what this is. That's nothing. So we're gonna go to coffee because I know that's there. Yes.
There is no better way to start the day
than with a cup of joe and an episode of Catch the Craze.
I'm so crazy. You so crazy. Crazy. Who's the craziest? I'm so crazy. You so crazy. Crazy. Who's the craziest? I'm so crazy. You so crazy. Crazy.
Hello there.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Mr. Producer, actor, director extraordinaire?
Oh, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Living life, living the dream.
Living the dream, yes. Yeah, we were. It's funny because I was talking. Well, this is George. He's my co-host.
What's going on, Kyle?
Hey, George, what's happening, man?
Not much, man. Not much.
Yeah, so I was talking to George, and I was talking. You're originally from New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Is his father the football player?" I was like, "Yeah, I believe so."
Yeah, dude, Ray Hester. I'm like, is that Ray Hester's son? Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
I was like, what?
Oh, that's
Awesome.
crazy, bro. That's awesome that you knew who he was.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah. So
That's cool. Yeah, that was. Yeah, Saints fan like forever. So yeah, that's how that
dude.
goes.
nice. So before we start, why don't you tell us, the audience, who you are and what you do?
All right. My name is Kyle Hester, and I am an actor, producer, and I was so basically, I don't know if you've seen The Chair with Roddy Piper. I got some stuff behind me.
Yes.
So, so I've been in some movies and whatnot, and doing just trying to get along in this crazy world. But if you've seen The Chair with Roddy Piper, I was in that. Zombie with a Shotgun just came out about 6 months ago. That's on Amazon and Tubi, and producing Preacher 6 right now that played
Nice.
Preacher 6, so that's in post-production.
Sweet.
And just doing the grind.
Awesome, man. I was telling Sam, I read that book, The Chair, the graphic novel. Really,
yeah?
really good book. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to catch the movie, but I was like, holy cow, he was in a chair. That's awesome, bro. So I got to check that out for sure.
Dude, it is as dark as the as the graphic novel. So
nice.
So if you like horror, man, then it's the ride.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, it's funny because when we connected, I was like, all right, this is the Halloween special. So this actually airs the 30th, right in time for Halloween.
Cool. That's cool.
Yes. I started watching The Zombie with a Gun. I haven't gotten to finish it, but I was looking at your resume. I went into IMDb, and you've been in you have a big body of work.
Thanks, man. I think if you stick around long enough and don't give up, then you'll end up having some stuff on there. So, call me crazy, but I just like I gotta keep doing this. I gotta keep trying to do this.
Yes.
So then I ended up producing. So, and that's its own thing. But we'll just keep on going. It's all we can do.
Nice. So I want to go backwards before we can go forward. So let's talk about what were your influences as a child, and what was the determining factor that you made you decide I want to go into acting?
God, man, I tell you what. Actually, like it was a fluky kind of thing because I had just been in. I was in junior high school, really, like the first time that I had an opportunity to do like an elective class. So I was like, oh yeah, I want to play the saxophone. That'd be cool. Because sax players seem like cool people. So I wanted to like do that. And then so I got in a band, and then when I found out that I had to actually spend $800 on a saxophone, my mom was like, well, we don't have $800 for a saxophone. It's
Wow.
we were that family, man. I'm like, I had like my shoes twice a year. So yeah, but there was no saxophone, in the picture. So I was like, all right, what else can we do? It's like, so why don't you try drama class? So I was like, drama. All right, let's do that. So that was the start, man. And so drama was my first elective, and then it was all the ride from there.
Nice.
Yeah. So Kyle, you went to the School of Performing Arts in Houston, right? That's where you went. And,
Yes.
And then you took theater and dance. So you got into dancing as well. So you do a little dance. So tell us a little bit about the experience being in a performing and visual arts school like that. Like, what were some of the things that you took away from that?
It was super cool, man. It was like, if you've ever seen Fame, the TV
Yeah,
show.
that's what I
Okay,
was
so
picturing.
it was like that.
Don't make me
I
sing the
mean,
theme song.
no kidding. It was like that, and it's like, so when I saw in junior high, when I realized, and I saw Fame on TV, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, is there a school like that here? And I grew up in Houston, so I was in Houston at the time, and there was, and I was like, oh my God, I got to go, I got to go to this school. So
That's
I
awesome.
auditioned and ended up, going to the Performing Arts High School, and I did dance on tables and got in trouble for that, but at least I can say I did it.
Oh, nice, nice,
That's awesome.
nice. But that's how they'll remember your name, right? Fame.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Totally,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
My principal, she remembers.
She remembers. So, what was your actual first paying acting gig?
You know what's funny? I think the first paying gig I had. Oh wow. Okay, no, that was okay. I think I remember. It was you know how they had those fashion shows in malls?
Yes.
Like they'd set up the runway, and
Yes.
so that was my first one. It was in high school, and so I was just like, someone asked me if I wanted to be in a fashion show, so I was like, all right, cool. So it was actually like a runway type thing, like being a teenage, hey, the latest thing from JCPenney's, and so yeah, that was the first thing. And then I think like the first thing after high school was actually in dance. I was in a jazz dance company, and it was at a theater called the Tower Theater in Houston, and it doesn't exist anymore. But I was in a jazz dance company, and that was, I think, my first like real, like someone's giving me an actual paycheck for this, like, it was,
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was fun.
So, how many auditions did you do before you landed your first role?
You know what? I don't know, because it's like, it's such a, because there's theater, and I think I was here in LA, and I think when I first got to LA, this was like my first trip, like out from Houston.
Right.
And I think the first movie that I did was called Sorority Girl Block Party, or it might be Rock and Roll Fantasy.
Right.
And okay, so what that was David Latz. David Latt he's the producer for like Sharknado. So all the Asylum
Nice.
films, so
Yeah.
that's him. So his first film was Rock and Roll Fantasy here in LA, and that was my first film.
Wow.
So yeah, so that was crazy times.
Yeah. Crazy times indeed. So your producer credits include, the Preacher, Sigs, Zombie with a Shotgun, and The Chair. Do you do, other than produce, do you do any writing or anything like that in the industry? Have you tackled any of that?
I haven't tackled that yet, but I started this YouTube channel. So and I was actually kind of like, I've never done like camera work and directing and like all that kind of stuff. So doing this like YouTube channel, I'm kind of like doing, well, I'm actually like directing myself and like doing the camera and lining up the shots, and like it's kind of like being the filmmaker as opposed to being the actor. And so that's so I did not, and I did, like, I started out like, okay, when I got The Chair was the first producer gig. I came onto that as an actor, and then I ended up producing it. Okay. So so it's kind of like a reverse engineered, kind of thing. But writing is something that, maybe down the line, but I don't know, man. I'm spinning so many plates,
Right.
I got you. Yeah.
So what was the reason for wanting to switch hats and go into producing?
There wasn't a reason. Actually, I'll tell you how it happened. I came on as an actor, and the creator, Peter Samedi, he was on the East Coast. He lives on the East Coast, and I'm here in LA. So we were on the phone all the time, and he would ask me questions, like, well, what do you know sound guide, like where we can shoot this, prop people, and I knew all these people because of how many things I had done, in the industry.
Right.
So and then he was interviewing some like producer types, and he didn't like the vibe that he was getting from these people. And so he's like, yeah, these people are like A-type personality. They want to take over the film and recast everything. And he said, do you want to produce it? So, and not knowing what I was getting into, I said, yeah, let's do this. It's like, I know just about everything about how to make a movie, so I took it on. So that was like, that was the beginning. So yeah, it's more like, okay, I'll do it. If nobody, I will do this. So that's how it happened.
Nice.
That's cool, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then with Zombie with a Shotgun, it was like, I don't know if you talk to but you should talk to Hilton. He's a cool guy. But yeah, we were talking. I think I called him up, and he lives in Manhattan, and I called him up, and I'm like, I see he's got this huge following and this great artwork and whatnot for that. Can you see that? Yeah, the
Yes.
Zombie with a Shotgun.
yes.
Yeah.
And he's got this great artwork and everything. And I was like, well, what are you doing? And he had the web series, and are you making a film? And so he started talking about, well, I got this, I got people I'm talking about money, and banks and stuff like that. And everybody's dragging their feet. And, I said, you know what, dude, let me know what happens. If you get traction with that, but otherwise let's just do it. Let's just make it. Let's just like raise the money, doing the crowdfunding and that kind of thing. And then he just said, all right, fuck it. Let's do it. And so that's how it happened.
Wow.
And now we have a Zombie with a Shotgun, and hopefully the sequel will, we'll do that next year if COVID, settles down. Please. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So what's the transition been like from going into wearing the producer hat? What has changed for you?
It goes back to spinning plates, man. Because as far as like when you're producing a film, it's like you're in charge of everything. So like anything that happens is your responsibility. For the way that it looks, the way that it sounds. The actors. Does everybody get along? Do people have food? Is there a set? What does it look like?
Right.
Like all of the things that you would think, oh, wow, there's like a lot to making a movie. And that is, a producer is in charge of all of it. So, did I answer the question?
So what does time management look like with regards to being a producer?
Time management, boy, that's a good question. I think that, if you have a good team around you, you can delegate, responsibilities. And so that you don't have to do everything, because you just go crazy. So if you got like a good first AD, and basically the first AD is the one who put the schedule together, and he'll like line out the days, so then you have that kind of organization, and then so a good first AD will save a film and make it possible by all of the technical scheduling of putting the people in, putting all those lists together. It's like, okay, well, we need these costumes for this day and on this set, and on this location. So that everything's got to be there. So it's like you're coordinating with other people. So it's a lot.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot. And it's funny, you mentioned food, man. That's probably the most important thing, right? Like feeding these people. I've been like, cause I when I used to work at an ad agency, we used to do these photo shoots, like small, just little photo shoots.
Yeah.
And the people would, the thing that would upset them the most is if their food wasn't right, or like if their food didn't come on time. It was like insane, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. And it's like having good food.
Yeah,
because the crew really people appreciate good food. So like that way, it's like people feel like they're being taken care of. It's like I've been on sets, when I wasn't not producing, which I've been on hundreds of sets. But like when people show up, like here's a bag of fast food, A, hamburger, C, and good luck. With that, here's some like, watered down Diet Cokes for everybody. So it's like that kind of thing, it'll be like, really, it's like you just spend a little bit more money. Like the whole crew goes from like really to like, oh, this is really cool. I appreciate this.
Right.
And then it's just like everybody wants to do good then.
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny, man.
So from all the sets that you've been on, which was your best experience?
My best experience. You know what? Okay, I'd say Andersonville was the most encompassing, like intense experience. That was for those who don't know, Andersonville is a Civil War film. John Frankenheimer directed it and shot it in Georgia, like 20 miles from the actual Andersonville prison. So it's like, and we spent about 3 months like in the rain, like in this like set, which is like they made it like a 1-to-1 set. So it was like a real live, the actual like dimensions of the Andersonville prison made of, trees, like timber, and so that was a really, really awesome and real experience. So I take that, sticks with you when you experience those kind of things.
All right, so what was the best lesson you learned from being on that set? Any takeaways from that?
Yeah, you know what? I think my biggest takeaway is John Frankenheimer was such a powerful director. Like there was thousands of people there. I mean, they had like literally, hundreds of extras and a huge cast, and there's it's maybe 1,000 people. I don't want to be hyperbolistic. That's not a word, but but a lot of people. And when he walks on the set, he just like took control. He's like, all right, this is what we're doing. He'd look around and he'd point and he'd like, and everyone was like, snap to attention, John's talking, nice. And it was like that. And it's like, damn, he just talks and like, he's got everyone's attention. And I think that's a special gift. And that's what I take away. And if I ever do direct, which hey, after COVID, man, I'm doing things.
Dude, after COVID, right?
So,
AC is like the world after COVID, man.
Oh,
it's freaking
dude,
nuts,
you gotta coin that, man. You gotta put that on t-shirts. AC.
AC, bro. Oh man, big shout out to John Frankenheimer. He won an Emmy for that, right? For that miniseries. Yeah, back in '96. So this stuck with you because this was a few years back.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So
I think that I mean, it's like the other stuff. I don't know. It's like I haven't done my best work yet. So it is to come.
Yes.
So I think that there's nothing that I can point at that says what was my favorite part,
right?
Or my favorite role, because I haven't had it yet. I think Preacher 6 is going to be freaking awesome. Have you seen the trailers for Preacher 6?
Not yet. No.
You can see it on my YouTube page.
Yeah, I subscribed to your channel yesterday.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I have like 3 trailers on it, and that's
nice.
That's really, really cool. I think that's going to be the most exciting role I think that I've played yet. So I'm looking forward to that coming out.
Yes, is that you on the cover?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, because I have that's on the screen right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
I don't know which one you're looking at.
I'm looking at the one with the where you're standing looking down and your hair is in your face and you have the Preacher 6 above you.
Oh yeah. That's me.
Okay,
that's
cool. So flip the coin. What was your worst experience?
My worst experience.
Your least favorite.
Kyle, you don't have to answer this, Kyle.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
Here's the thing. No, I tend to like bubble myself.
There you go.
I mean, so I don't know. I'm pretty positive guy. So I think that like that's gonna supersede whatever's going else around me. I mean, it's like whatever's not everybody's gonna get along on sets.
Right.
Which is a bummer. But it does happen,
Right.
So it's just like whatever. I just like avoid the negative and just hang out with people that that work, because it worked for me personally, because it's there's a lot of people, and like and it's weird, like egos are weird, so and I don't like divas, and I use that for men and women. It's like I won't hire them, so like people that like are it has to be about them, about
Right.
feeding that ego to be able to do the work. I'm not about it, so because it's like, first of all, to make a movie, everyone on that set is talented because that's what they do. It's like if you work if you're an artist and you work in the film industry in any capacity, you've put time and effort into whatever that craft is.
Right.
So, and it takes every single one of those crafts to make a movie.
Right.
So it's like, so that's why, because and I've done everything. I've built sets, I've worked on special effects, I've whatever, been a grip, all of it. So it's like, and it's a big machine, of people that are trying to make this thing that ends up on this little screen, so yeah, so I'm not about ego. I think I went off track there.
Nah. You know what's good about, like you said, you've done all of the things. So like I think that when you finally decide, okay, what's going to be my directing job, all of the steps, and you've seen all of the jobs, so you pretty much know how to do each one. So I think it's easy to delegate, to say, okay, we need that, and you know how that gets done. You need that, and you know how that gets done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I can't wait to see, what you do when you actually decide, to get out there and then direct.
Cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, I might do. I mean, we have ideas. It's like my wife's a writer. She's a screenwriter. So
Okay.
she wrote Preacher 6.
Oh,
So which is an awesome script. And we're talking about like, how do we go forward? Because some of the other things that we had talked about is this film called The Coop, which is like a big cast and lots of stunts, and it would be a lot. So to do in today's environment,
Right.
with like all of the protocols you have to do for the COVID, and
Sure.
so it's like, I don't think that's right now. That's not possible. Like nothing's off the table. We're not like saying, well, we're never going to do that movie. We just can't do that movie now.
Right.
So what
Right.
can we do now? So we're talking about like different things, like smaller casts, different, one location, stuff that would be easier on a production schedule to make it happen.
Right.
So yeah, so we're making plans and just seeing how the temperature of the water is.
Yeah. So now that you're on the production side, how much thought do you give to your promo, your posters, and your marketing material?
Well, I mean, today it's kind of like you got to think of like that kind of stuff as a thumbnail, because it's like, is that going to catch somebody's attention? It's like, unless you're on my Twitter feed, or you happen to have seen me in a movie, in one of those movies or whatever, and you go, oh, you look kind of familiar,
Right.
it's like, but that doesn't mean you know who I am.
Right.
Right.
That just means you look kind of familiar, yeah, I might know you. Oh, you were in that. Oh, cool. It's like then, but it's like to look at me. I mean, I'm a chameleon, it's like, so you wouldn't, I'm hard to place, like in as far as that goes. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think we just find the way.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, because you have like a Chuck Norris look to you.
Yeah.
Has anybody said it before?
No, I've never gotten Chuck Norris.
Well,
never.
add me to the list.
I'll take it though. I'll take it.
And so let's talk about your current project. Why this project, and and what would you like to get from it?
God, well, Preacher 6 is we're in post production right now, and that is, it's like a small town preacher comes to the big city and ends up fighting demons in a literal sense. So there's action and it's like it's a story of like the reluctant hero, you know. So and yeah, it's like I got to work with people that I worked with before. Like I worked with Zach Galligan. I had worked with him on The Chair, and so I was like, basically when I would do movies and whatnot down the road, I was like, I would keep this mental list of like awesome people that I would want to work with again.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so then, and I think that like a clue for actors, be awesome, but also be a good person, because that's what's gonna like. Then you end up on someone you might not even know that like someone's thinking about you, you know, for a part down the line.
Yeah.
Which is like what I was doing. You know, it's like I got this mental list of like, you know, so Peter Murnick, you know, who's amazing. He's in Jag and he was in Justified and all kinds of stuff. So I met him and Carmen Argenziano. I met them both on the set of Andersonville a bazillion years ago.
Wow.
Right. So I was like, all right. And then when I found out, it's like, so if I ever get to work with them, or am able to bring someone on a set, I want to work with them again. You know? So they're, you know, two of the leads in Preacher 6. And so that is like how I put that cast together, you know, was like all these phenomenal actors of people that I'd worked with before. And so I think that's part of something that people, if you're a filmmaker, casting is so important, you know, because that's what's going to sell your film. Well, like what's real, you know, and it's like the actors that, you know, if they're going to break the fourth wall, then you're going to be taking the audience out of it.
Right.
You know, and then it's like, oh yeah, that was a B movie. And why is a B movie a B movie? Because like an actor took you out of it and you're like, yeah, okay, it's a B movie. And then you're like, you mentally accept it. Like we're watching a B movie now because this actor sucks. Like how did that person get that part, you know? So from the smallest to the biggest, it's like, you know, your weakest link is what people subconsciously will remember the film for, as something to like that. Yeah, everything was good, but then there was that thing, right? You know, and that could be anything. It could be like sound is so important. You know, it's like, can you hear it, or does it sound like an echo chamber? You know, and then it's like everything. It's like, oh, this is a B movie because it sounds like there's one mic and I can hear like everything is echoing. Damn. You know, so that instantly gives away B movie. Right. So hire a good sound person, or learn how to do sound and be this good sound person yourself. You know, so there's like lots of moving parts.
Right. So how long was production?
Well, so we shot for like a week and a half in Arkansas, and then a year later, which would be not this summer, 2 summers ago. So we shot here, and that was for 2 weeks. So it's about 3.5 week shoot total.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then we're in post-production right now doing all of the VFX and whatnot.
All right.
Sweet. When is the movie set to release?
I don't have a release date right now. Okay. We're still working on the VFX. So, and all these things take time, and there's a lot of shots, and I bit off a lot, but it's like with this particular project, this is one is like, all right, we're going to go big or go home, and we're going big here. So it's just, we're just grinding through it, you know?
Sweet.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but my next film, I will not put this much VFX in it so that I can get it out, you know? But here we are doing the thing.
That's awesome, Kyle.
So you talked about Zombie with a Gun, and what was the thought behind that poster? Because it's badass.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Zombie with a Shotgun. That was Hilton Ruiz. He's the creator of that. So basically, that's all him, and like the artists that he knew. Right. And and he will definitely come on your show too. So he's all about podcasts.
Awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, so he knew all these artists and like that he had worked with before, and it's the same thing. It's like your circle that you meet through the years, you know. And so in the movie, when you get to see it, like there's some animation in the film.
Nice.
Yeah, and so it's like this kind of like this like stick animation thing that I think that the guy was famous for doing on MTV. Like he had these little vignettes on MTV about this whole animation style, and Hilton was just like, "That's badass," you know. And he just remembered that, and he's like, "I want to put that in this film." And the funny thing is, I didn't even know that, you know, like that he was going to be putting this animation in the film. And
Right.
so when I see it, I'm like, "That's freaking awesome!" And so yeah, and that's all from the mind of Hilton.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. So then you're in post production. What's next after this?
Next after this, we see basically we'll try to get this out first. You know, right now I'm doing my YouTube channel, which definitely I know you subscribe. It's Kyle Hester Land for those who have not subscribed yet. So please do that. Yes. But the goal with the YouTube channel, because like nobody has any money now, you know. So like to do, it's like if I had to raise funds for a film right now, like I did for Preacher 6, I don't think it will be possible, you know, to do all of the Indiegogos and stuff like that, like all the crowdfunding and stuff like that, just because we're in a pandemic. Right. So, you know, so like thinking outside the box is like, okay, how can I keep making films, you know? So then my idea is if I can monetize the YouTube channel, you know, then eventually get the YouTube to continue making the films, you know? So yeah, so subscribe and watch all the stuff, because I only have like 215,000 minutes to go to be monetized. So
nice.
There you go. All right.
Nice.
I just subscribed, so you got another one, Kyle.
Sweet.
I'm on there.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated.
No problem, man. No problem.
Yeah. So what would you like everyone? Like, this is your pitch, your elevator pitch. What would you want everybody to walk away with from this interview?
You know what? I think the only thing is like the only reason that something's not going to happen is if you quit. You know, and there's lots of reasons to quit. Yeah. And so I think that if you go, okay, it's like when I started fundraising for Preacher 6, you know, it's like at no point was I like, oh, well, we didn't come up with the money on the first one. So I guess we're just not going to do it, you know, which is what happens a lot. You know, people get into like these crowdfunding things and not knowing or not realizing how difficult and how much energy, and it's a marathon, you know, to raise funds for these things. And so I would say the only reason that it's not going to happen is if you stop trying, right? You know, so, and especially now, you know, it's like we're all kind of figuring out how to do this, how to move and shake. I mean, it's like, I could go, you know what, this is too hard. You know, I'm going to go get a job at Amazon. I know how to drive a truck. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I could do that, you know, and you could do that, and you didn't fuck it. All right. I guess we made a run. You know what I mean? But it's like, am I going to do that? Hell no. You know, because it's like, I got years, you know, I got years in this, you know, so there is no quit, and you just got to keep going and keep finding the way.
Right. That's right. Preach, no pun intended.
No worries,
there you
man.
Go, buddy.
No worries.
Good stuff, man. Thank you so much, Kyle, for being on the show. We're gonna have to have you back when Preacher 6 actually comes out, and we gotta talk about it.
Absolutely.
I would love to. Yeah, anytime. Yes. You guys are awesome.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I love what you're doing. You know, I started watching it. I'm actually we editing it to our Halloween. Every Halloween, my wife and I will watch just a series of movies. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it with her, and we're adding it to our list of our Halloween specials, and we're just going to veg out and watch movies all day, and we're adding it to the list.
That's super cool, man. Thank you for that. That's awesome.
Yes, but no, your body of work is impressive. You're exactly why we do what we do, because it's that's the stuff that's inspiring, and just looking at your wall is pretty dope. So much success to you, and can't wait to see the end product with Preacher 6.
Thank you, man. You guys are awesome. Anytime. I appreciate you.
You got it, buddy. Talk to you soon.
All right, Kyle. Take care, bud.
Peace. Be well.
Peace. So
That was awesome, dude.
that was a really good. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's. I mean,
You know what I just realized? That
well,
so the lead in Preacher 6 is Zach Galligan, right? You know who that is?
you're gonna tell me.
That's Billy from the Gremlins.
Oh, snaps, Billy! Wow.
Yeah, dude. I was like, wait a minute, Zach Galligan. Yeah. So he's the lead on Preacher 6. Everybody's got to check that out when it comes out. I can't wait till it does. And definitely subscribe to Kyle Hester's YouTube channel. I just actually subscribed to it. Kyle Hester, KYLEHESTER, for all of those that want to check it out. Yeah, he's got some cool stuff on there, man.
Yeah.
Cool
I mean, it's
dude,
pretty dope.
Cool
I mean,
dude.
yeah, I love the way he puts into perspective. You know, I think that's why
Yeah.
for me it was like, all right, so what's changed up? And you know, because it can't be easy. And you know, from being like behind the screen, now responsible for everybody else was behind the screen, and I mean, being in front of the camera, now he's behind the camera. So it was like, but also in Preacher 6, he's doing both. He's wearing both hats. He's the actor and producer, and that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely, dude. Nah, great job. Definitely check him out. Kyle Hester, man. Cool dude.
Yeah.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well.
Yes.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Hit
Ring that bell.
Hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell. Next week we have our live show. We're bringing back the boys.
The boys.
Jonathan and Anifa
The
will
boys
be
are back in town.
If you guys checked it out back at the beginning of September, we had our top 5 actors in a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Our top 5.
Yeah.
That was fun. So we'll see what we do on this one. This time around, tune in next week. We're gonna go live.
Yeah.
Live November 4th, episode 210.
Yes, we got the Royals Compoyos and the Psycho Cyphex.
Facts, baby. And if you missed it, go back, check out Joe Holly. We had him last week on the show. Freelance comic book artist Joe Holly, really cool dude. But yeah, man, this was great. This was awesome, dude.
This is a great, you know, I mean, just looking back at the year, you know, we've had musicians, filmmakers, producers, you know,
Toy photographers.
I mean,
yeah.
you had the gambit. I mean, it was just like
bands. We've had like
webcomic
bands,
creators, yes.
webcomic creators. I mean, we've run the gamut. I mean, it's been a great year. It's been a great year. So and for all of those who supported the Kickstarter that just ended, thank you very much.
Yes.
Get ready for the release.
You know what the sad thing is? I forgot. You know, because we're pre-recorded, so I'd have the Kickstarter images up on the screen. I was like, wait, and then I realized, we did it. So
it would have ended.
Yes,
October 26th. Time warps, baby.
Yeah, and you know, but he put it into perspective, the amount of work to do a crowdfunding campaign.
Oh yeah,
it's a grind. You know,
it's
a grind.
It's a grind.
That's gonna be.
It's a grind.
It's gonna be,
And that's what and I love what he said, man. He's like the only way basically the only way he feels is if he stops doing it. You know, like if he stops doing it, that's the only way it ends. Like, and he's not gonna stop.
And it goes back to our conversation earlier about the fear.
Always.
Always, right? Right?
Always.
Because that's the first thing I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't stop. Won't stop. Right?
Can't stop, won't stop, baby.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's the key. It's like when you believe in something and you have the passion for it, die on your own sword.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He said it. He goes, I have too much time in this.
Yeah.
I have too much time in this. Too much time invested for me to just walk away. And I think that when you look at, like, even the two of us, when you look at you, right, 10 years gone, you felt like I did too much to just walk away from this. You're back in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Those are the singing stylistics of Samuel Barrett.
George is like, this damn Sam.
Jesus Christ. Yo, dude, it's sad. I even blend into this couch. This is
I know.
sad backdrop.
I know.
It's just like a head.
Yeah.
It's just a talking head and a white wall.
Yeah, you're riding a camel or something.
I'm sorry, guys. Listen, it's October 31st. This is when the show is airing.
30th.
But I still haven't moved into the new apartment. So by the time you see us on the live show, I will be in the new digs. So
Yeah.
it will be. I mean, November 4th. I don't know. Will I be able to go into Jersey and do the show live? I don't know. I don't know.
I know.
Maybe mask on. I have no idea. We'll see. We'll see what happens,
Mask
guys.
on,
We'll see what happens.
Mask off. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Great show as always, Sammy. I will.
Yes, it was a good show, and thank you all for subscribing. And if you haven't, please support. Check out Kyle's YouTube channel. It's pretty dope. Check out the Zombie with a Shotgun, which is available now on Amazon. And if you go to his Twitter page and follow him on Twitter, you'll get all the latest updates from him. And our Patreon is now live in effect, so please support us on our Patreon.
With that bad boy.
And again, we appreciate you. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong, and don't forget to tell someone you love them. Right?
Nice. You sounded like Mr. Rogers, right?
Yes.
That's a nice sentiment, Sam.
Who
I agree.
are the people
I concur.
in your neighborhood?
Here we go.
Peace. Where's the credit?
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy.
Acquiesce. No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him.
Say my name,
Right? This is what you were thinking? Oh, he described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.